All right, look, I know we've done some ratchet shit in the history of this channel, but this is probably the most cursed gun we've ever fired. Many moons ago on this channel, on an episode of Cursed Gun Images, we showed you one of the most abhorrent firearms we've ever presented on this channel. It was this one, the most cursed Martini-Henry I have ever seen in my life. Crazy part about it? It was a real gunbroker listing. We'll go over that listing here in a second because it's one of the funniest fucking things I've ever read, but many of you said, Brandon, since this gun's for sale, obviously you need to buy it, which is just ridiculous. I'm not gonna spend my hard-earned money buying every little cursed gun that pops up on the internet, just most of them. So today, we are going to be showing you and test firing the most cursed gun we've ever featured on this channel. It's wobbling. I can feel it shaking in my hands. And we're gonna hope it doesn't explode. There's a few reasons for us to think it will. Get into those in a sec. The things I do for your viewing pleasure. Now this is what a Martini-Henry is supposed to look like. Well, I mean, sort of. This is kind of a Khyber Pass look-alike, but still, single shot, chambered in .303 British, notably looks like an actual historical firearm. But what if somebody took this and decided, you know what, maybe we have M16 at home? And unfortunately, that same asshole had access to a welder. So I present to you M16 at home. Well, I mean, maybe not a home, probably like a crack house. But still, we have this right here, which again, single shot. So not only is this a Khyber Pass build, which is already pretty sketchy, also kind of sketchy because you just look at all the globs of fucking weld everywhere all over it. But even looking into the chamber here, just look at how the barrel face is cut away for the ejector. Nothing about this instills great confidence. Like nothing at all. But you know what we say here on the channel, never let cowardice be the enemy of science. I've never said that before, but I'm saying it now, so still counts. So that's a cinder block and a piece of wood.
Don't forget the blanket.
All right, so we didn't have a lead sled, so we kind of rigged one up. Rigged with a hard R. But we're being really careful with this one, which is why we are using slightly downloaded black powder .303 rounds that we custom loaded. And the reason we're kind of being so cautious about this thing possibly exploding is multifaceted. For one, this weapon system was designed in 1870. For two, this one's not even original. It's made by Pakistanis in Khyber Pass. Three, we have no idea what this absolute fucking goober did to this thing. All the things inside of it that might be completely fucked. And four, the guy who sold this to me from the original gunbroker listing literally told me, please don't shoot it. But I mean, come on. You know, people ask me what I do for a living, and that question is getting continuously harder and harder to answer. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, that's not too bad. Oh, so our gun is still intact. Oh, hey, and it actually ejected. I kind of had money that it wouldn't. Means the casing didn't expand too much and our chamber is not so ghetto that, you know, it got stuck. In colloquial terms, great success.
Yeah, you're doing it right.
Okay, it just sucks. Got it. Adapt, improvise, come. Improvise, adapt, get stuck on the blanket. There you go. No crazy swelling.
No, it looks fine.
Now comes the part of the video where I have to fire this myself. So since this is still sketch as fuck, for the first round, just to feel it out and to make sure, just in case it, you know, we got lucky the first time, I'm gonna do the patented Khyber Pass test fire method, and I'm not fucking around. Well, I'm fucking around on patented. I don't know if they have those yet. They grab the gun with their left hand, because, you know, don't want to lose your right hand, and just kind of hold it out and pull the trigger. Kind of more up like that, I'm sure. So that the right hand is back here away from the breech, just in case something goes wrong, and the back of the gun's not pointed directly at your face, which can have negative repercussions.
Hey you, you're in debt. Now,
The sad part about that joke is that statistically speaking, 3/4 of American households are actually in some form of debt. And with the current system, it's not hard to imagine why. Millions of Americans are experiencing some form of debt, and fees and calls can pile up monthly unless you fight back. PDS debt has already helped hundreds of thousands cut their debt and put their money right where it belongs, back in their pocket, not the banks. Whether it's personal loans, credit cards, or medical debt, PDS debt has solutions that are custom for you to get yourself out of debt. And there's no minimum credit score required. They're here to help you save money and pay off your debt faster. And they're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have thousands of 5-star reviews. Why? Well, as I said, they've helped hundreds of thousands of people pay off their debt faster. So don't wait another month. Start taking back control within 30 seconds. Start taking back control by getting your free debt assessment at pdsdebt.com/bh. That's pdsdebt.com/bh. pdsdebt.com/bh. And once again, we'd like to thank our channel sponsor, Sonoran Desert Institute, over at sdi.edu. If you've ever wanted to get your start in gunsmithing and weapons technology and didn't know where to look, I'd check out the links down in the description and in the pinned comment. So that way you don't end up doing shit like that. I mean, just fucking look at it. Only you can prevent cursed gun images.
You know what's funny is that now that I'm the nominee for my congressional seat, I should probably stop taking unnecessary risks like this, you know, things that could potentially kill me, because I'm pretty sure if that happens, the Democrat wins by default. I mean, this won't kill me. You can still do the job if you're like slightly maimed. Why are they all the way back there, man? Thanks, Jake. Thank you. All right. Actually, you know what? Take off my fucking Breitling first. Can lose a hand. I like the watch. Sketchy Packy test fire in 3, 2, 1. Hot. Not bad. Yeah, you know, maybe this thing's growing on me. Not really, but I got a little bit more confidence now. So now we're gonna shoulder fire it with this wonderful hard buttstock and a very ergonomic bolt sticking right where it goes in your shoulder. What could go wrong? I say as I put this thing next to my face. Firing! Not too bad. Let's do another. That bolt really doesn't feel very nice. But all in all, not horrible. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, the recoil's not horrible. And it didn't explode, which frankly is better odds than I gave it going in. Behold, a shitpost. All right, look, I know we've done some ratchet shit in the history of this channel, but this is probably the most cursed gun we've ever fired. God, imagine just carrying this into the ghetto. You know, Khyber Pass is kind of notorious for a bunch of improvised and frankly thrown together weapons. This one takes the cake. Not only did this start life as a Khyber Pass Martini-Henry, it actually got somehow fucking worse throughout its lifetime. The Martini-Henry, a very influential rifle throughout world history, mostly because of British imperialism.
At 100 yards, volley fire, present!
Turns out Alfred had some lore before he worked for Bruce Wayne, but it also had a lasting impact on the Middle East. You saw a lot of, Pakistani reproductions of the Martini-Henry, which is where this, well, Mama said you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. This technically legal firearm first got born, which is why, and I gotta bring you over for this, some of the markings make absolutely no fucking sense. For example, this is fucking gibberish, and as far as the date stamped, it's a 1-9, so 19, and then an upside down 2, upside down 3, with an upside down 2 right above this crown. So, I mean, they got the spirit, I guess. But that's where this Martini-Henry started life. Where it ended up was in the United States, where somehow we did something worse to it. Some gunsmith, and I use that term loosely, looser than the Rolling Stones definition of neo-Nazi. Still haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna fucking sue you, by the way. I don't think the word apparent means what you think it means, but it's doing more heavy lifting than Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So from what I was told by the guy who sold it to me is that a lot of this stuff was done by a gunsmith in the United States. And we're gonna go through some of what was done, but they finished the job. And to what degree they did that, I don't know, and I don't know if I wanna know. But before we go too far, I think we just need to read the original gunbroker listing because it is just, it's a work of art. One of a kind, Holy Grail Khyber Pass Martini-Henry M16 clone, 303 British. For sale is a one-of-a-kind, Holy Grail, absolute stone mint, important and rare, limited edition Martini-Henry, rebarreled to 303 British, dressed up to look like an M16. This sick puppy is perfectly legal in all 50 states, but looks terrifying. Surely them liberals' heads will be spinning once they find out this scary-looking rifle is just an antique. The butt stock is a modified early M16 stock that has a large bolt head sticking out of it. One shot of 303 and it'll surely be a good massage to your shoulder. This old hoss has an M16 A2 handguard installed and an A2 two front sight post welded onto the barrel. An A3 carry handle has been added to make this thing look more clone correct. Comes with a cheap Bushnell scope mounted to the carry handle. This portion is an antique. We'll ship direct to your door. Please do not try to shoot this. Who knows this history of this thing and how poorly it was built? Spacebar, spacebar, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Judging by the spelling and punctuation, whoever wrote that description was probably about as drunk as the guy who made this. ADD break. So we're gonna do the classic echelon penetration test. I really just wanna see how much power we're putting out of this thing. I mean, these are pretty downloaded. It's black powder, so it's gonna be a little softer shooting anyway, but it's gonna give us a nice big white puff of smoke. Let's see the damage it does on an echelon can. Actually, 2 echelon cans. Just because, frankly, I'm curious. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and load this thing up, and since I think this scope is nowhere fucking in the ballpark of accurate, I'm just gonna kind of wing this looking down the barrel, so. Echelon penetration test in 3, 2, 1. All right, I'll give it to you. That was a lot more power than I was expecting. It was so soft recoiling, I thought it might be a little too underloaded, but the Echelon disagrees. Now let's talk about some of the quality craftsmanship that went into this, well, antique. God, this gun is sadder than Ellen DeGeneres finding out Jeffrey Epstein got incarcerated. This whole gun's just bizarre. It's like just a giant Rorschach test. If I look closely enough at the welds, I think I can see my parents fighting. So I'm gonna roll over your way so I can just show just in detail just how bad some of these welds are. I mean, just tack welded right on. And now you would think with this being welded directly to the barrel that would be fairly secure, albeit a bit ghetto. I mean, no. Thing's doing more fucking wobble than a 20-year high school reunion. But don't worry, this is just the handguard. This is just where you grip the rifle. It doesn't have any effect on accuracy. It's not like the scope is attached to the... Oh, again, one of my favorite parts is just in ghetto rigging the stock, you know, with this giant lug nut ass bolt on the back. They just cut away part of this original M16 stock to be able to fit this in, which, I mean, that's one way to do it. No clue as well what the fuck was on the end of this, probably an original like front sight post, but that has been completely ground away. Not in a pretty way either. Something tells me whoever did this did not have access to a lathe. Instead, probably a Dremel and copious amounts of methamphetamine. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the front sight post here. So on a normal M16, this would be a front sight post gas block combo. My favorite part is that this A2 front sight is completely too big for the barrel. So there's actually a massive gap. If we could just safely take a look at the front end here. I mean, obviously, you know, weapon is clear because God knows I would never load this thing in polite company. This isn't even remotely close to the right diameter. I mean, this should be a borderline press fit, and there's just a massive gap here. So they just used big ass globs, just tack welded this shit in place, which again, bang up fucking job. Also, I just love how it's not even remotely symmetrical. Like if you look on this side of it, that's the gap you're working with between the front sight post and the barrel, as opposed to this side. Neat part about the Martini-Henry is it might be one of the first ever firearms to have a cocking indicator. So when you pull the trigger, obviously the rifle is clear. Then when you cock it, it shows that the rifle is cocked. One of the weird parts about this one in particular that I have noticed is that, see, that's nice and rigid. As soon as you fire it and it is no longer cocked, that pin immediately just wants to move the fuck out of the gun. So now you're in. Now you ain't. Just noticed one of the scope screws wasn't tight. It's a shame. You wouldn't want to throw off the accuracy.
All right, now just because I'm morbidly curious, I mean, this is like a fucking poster child for height over bore, and somehow I don't feel like this is very accurate. But we're gonna give it a shot anyway. So we're gonna be shooting down at that gong. What'd you say that is from here, Jake? Like 30 yards? 35 yards, playing it fast and loose with a high-powered rifle. I'm gonna be using the scope to, I'm gonna try to use this scope to aim directly down at that gong on the left. And I'm really curious to see where the bullet actually goes. If it hits this gong, I'm gonna shit my pants. So aiming center of the gong. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Hold on, I just want to point out that the scope is wobbling a shitload. That's not me not being able to hold the gun straight. It's literally wobbling all over the fucking place with the light movement of the gun. Fuck it, we ball. 3, 2, 1. Was that like top of the, it was low? Oh, wow. Huh. I'm gonna put one more round on it, we'll see. Low left? Yeah, well, you know what? At 35 yards, if I was aiming center mass, that still would have, you know, been the guy's left leg. So, not completely useless. Like, I just want to show what I'm talking about here. Look right here. Like every part of this. On top of being on this absolute diving board. Like every part. The handguard fucking moves. There's like 18 different axes in which this is just inaccurate.
I did not hit the gong.
I was gonna be very impressed if you did.
I think I hit dirt. That is a really long trigger pull.
Yeah, it's kind of dog shit.
Yeah.
So to wrap this all up nice and tight with a bow, this is not only a cursed weapon, but probably one of the biggest pieces of dog shit I've ever had the misfortune of showing off on the channel. Whoever did this is bad, and they should feel bad, and may God have mercy on your eternal soul. 3 out of 10. Yeah, just as a reminder, this was from the series Cursed Gun Images, which we're probably going to bring back. What would you guys think about a new Cursed Gun Images video? There have been a few things that have come across my desk that I think are worthy of a Cursed Gun Images video, but I'm going to need more content. So if you guys have seen any Cursed Gun Images throughout the internet, I hate what I'm about to say, please send them in. I would tell you to use the subreddit because that's what I actually check. However, I know a bunch of you are just going to use email, my DMs, smoke signal. Doesn't matter where I tell you to send them. It's just gonna flood down my fucking fireplace like Harry Potter letters.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cursed Martini-Henry. You know what? You asked for this. So technically, this is on you. This is your fault. Already shifting blame, just like a politician. Fuck. Anyhow, we've actually had this thing laying around for a while. I've been meaning to do this video for a minute. Now we're getting a little bit of a chance. You know, things have calmed down a little bit. Figured it would be nice to take a bit of a return to the basics. The basics of the channel. There's nothing basic about this. This is absurd. Anyhow, if there's anything you guys would like to see coming up, I've actually added a lot of cool stuff to my collection that I haven't showed off yet, including some really cool historical stuff. Bet the media is gonna have a fucking heyday with that. Anyway, I appreciate you guys staying all the way through to the end of the video. And as always, I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next one. Bye. Can we throw this thing away now?
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
This whole gun's just a bit of a Rorschach test. If I look closely enough at the welds, that